Hello, good morning and welcome to Stampin' Chat. I'm just mounting a couple of stamps, hoping that somebody will be joining this morning for a bit of stamping using a brand new set from the mini catalogue. Let me check I'm live in the right place before we go any further. I think I am, which is good. Yes, so using the Peaceful Deer, it's a stamp set that's on a bundle with a punch. I'm not going to be using the punch today, but I've got some projects designed for, can I move you? I'm a bit crooked. Projects designed for Tuesday's live, and they will be festive, they will be Christmassy, because the set is predominantly Christmas. So, and I feel that the punch that punches out the deer, it's kind of like a dancing, flying deer, so which to me kind of shouts Christmassy. So I will be doing that on Tuesday. I'm also bringing in a bit of the Merriest Moments stamp set, so and a few things to talk to you about that. So nobody's joining us just yet. I did only announce half an hour ago that I was popping on here, and I do excuse me, have a frog in my throat yet again. And I got the shakes today. I don't know what's up with me. I'm a bit of a hot mess maybe this morning. Maybe just not 100%. So, yeah, so without further ado, I think I might just turn you down and chat with you for a minute, and wait and see if someone is joining us. I'm just checking if there's any comments popping through. So we have a really great offer for when you join Stampin' Up at the moment. So that was my reason for playing with the Peaceful Deer, because we currently have 12 bundles that you can choose from to add to your starter kit. So you can choose one bundle for free. Your starter kit's £99. You automatically get £130 worth of product included of your choice, so you can choose whatever you like, products from the main annual catalogue or from the mini catalogue. Sadly, you cannot include Celebration free items to your starter kit, but you can get those after when you're earning a discount on your purchases. So along with your £130 of product for £99, it ships to you for free, which is really good, and then you get to choose one of these bundles. And as I said, there are 12 to choose from. I've got a little flyer to show you, and there's some really great ones on there, and really good priced ones as well. Some of the higher priced bundles are on there. So, but I have the Peaceful Deer, and I thought it'd be really nice to share it with you. Just share a couple of cards this morning that are non-festive, and then we'll step into Christmas next week. So I've been doing lots of Christmas behind the scenes, but I just feel, I've been chatting about this a lot, I just feel it doesn't feel the right time to share too much yet. So I've also got a couple of non-festive things that I need to be playing with from the Celebration. So the Dahlia set as well, just haven't found time to do that. I was out all day yesterday. So right, I'm going to turn you down and move everything about, get sorted, and hopefully somebody will be popping in. But of course, remember, this gets uploaded to YouTube, and also the live gets saved here in my page, so you can come back anytime and catch me. So excuse the palm of my hand while I just turn you down, move everything around, zoom in a little bit, let's put some light on. If you're hopping in, please say hi. I can see there's a few of you coming in. Move the grid paper over. Let's move my stand over. That will throw everything out. I'll move my grid paper back that way. Morning, Lucianne. Hoping I might get to you tomorrow. I'm not quite sure yet. We might have to head in your direction, but I will let you know. I will drop you a text if I'm coming your way. Okay, I think we're kind of central. I think we've caught up. It's hard to tell how long the lag is. So let's just get some tape, get the grid paper down. I think we are now crooked officially. And you can see what we are playing with today. Okay, we are there. We are there. So we've got the Peaceful Deer. Let's take this one out of the equation for a moment. So the Peaceful Deer is a bundle. Let me find it in my mini catalogue. I did share it with you last week. Oh, and now I haven't got my page marker on it, so I'm going to have to... Oh, there it is. So this is the mini catalogue. So page 26, then you'll see the whole collection here. So obviously just stamp set and a punch, lovely punch. The punch only punches out this deer, obviously. You can see that from the punch. Morning, Vicky. Good evening. How are you? Sorry, it's habit to say good morning. Hope you're doing okay. So it punches out these two images, and this one's particularly lovely as well. You can see it's a solid stamp there with the words in there. Oh, what fun. But I just think these images here are just so kind of general, and that was where my designs came from today. So this bundle is worth £33.25, and as I said, you can add that to your starter kit. There's a little flyer here that shows all 12 bundles that are available, and I can't believe, but the Christmas season one is on there. That's a firm favourite of mine. I'm trying to resist, and the stamp and bundle that goes with that one, I'll share that with you a bit more after. I do not want to be on here for too long this morning. My live last week went on way too long, and I need to try and focus on keeping them a bit shorter and sweeter, and maybe popping on a bit more often, especially with lots of new things that I've got to share with you. So as I've said, we're trying to focus for non-festive today. This is my colour. Let's bring in my colour combo. So I'm not using the punch this morning, but it is really great. This is my colour combo. I've got a little bit of petal pink thrown into this as well, but I'm not using the ink on it. Vicky, you're still in lockdown, but you're good. That's the main thing, and you're keeping yourself busy crafting. I know. It's good that we can do that, isn't it? What else am I using? I am using the bark embossing folder because I think it just works lovely with the deer. Because it's just very kind of natural, earthy, and I think it's a good one to use. I'm also using, let's just have a look. I've already die cut a tag from one of my favourite sets of dies, which is the tailor-made tags, one that I just go to all of the time. You know I talk about this a lot, but I use it a lot, so that's a good thing, that when you buy something you get a lot of use out of it. And I'm also going to be using a couple of the stamps, a couple of stamps, or one stamp maybe, and a couple of dies from the Merriest Frames as well. And I need to chat with you again about my offer for the Merriest Moments bundle when you buy it before Monday, if you buy it before Tuesday actually. So I will chat with you about that after. So I think I've pulled out from here what I need. So I'm going to pop that to one side. And these are the pieces that I've cut. There's not a lot of colour going on here, guys. So I think I'm going to be adding. I've also pulled out, a couple of you may have seen this card when you came to the studio on Thursday. It was so lovely to have people back here in the studio. There was only 5 of us, including me, 4 of you guys, but it was so nice to have people here. It does mean a lot, and you cannot beat stamping face to face with people and just having a little bit of interaction. We were careful, of course we've got to be careful, but we've got to venture out. So I am going to pull out also this lovely splat rather than using my marker pens. Now my DSP is from the Christmas, Tidings of Christmas pack. I've got a brand new pack here. You have seen me use this a lot, but it's beautiful. Let's just show you these sides. It's very Christmas and also very non-Christmas. You enjoyed it Thursday. It was lovely to have you. So just gorgeous prints in here. I love the colours. Maybe that's what helps it. It's got soft succulent, evening evergreen. We've got Sahara sand as well, which is the piece that I'm using, which is that. And there's 2 designs in that colour. A really good set of DSP that you can use on your all-round projects, not just for Christmas. Okay, usual standard base is 8 1/4 by 5 3/4. I've got the shakes today. I don't know what's going to happen when I start cutting out, but I just feel a bit like I've got the shakes this morning. I don't know why. I've had breakfast. I always enjoy breakfast with Jay on a Saturday morning before he goes off to work. So it's not that I need to eat because I think it's just, I don't know, maybe my levels are down and I don't realise it. My next layer that's going to go on top measures 3 3/4 by 5 3/8. Let's just check that. 3 3/4 by 5 3/8. And what I'm going to do with that one is pop it through the bark embossing folder. But before I do that, because I'll show you on my original card, I just felt it looked a little plain. So I thought I would add a bit of colour and a bit of background stamping. So I'm going to pull in my crumb cake ink and my blending brush, and I'm just going to take off, make sure, because I do use this for other neutrals as well. So I don't think, I mean, I'll probably use it with Sahara sand and crumb cake the most. But I always like to make sure before I pop it into an ink. How is lighting as well? I've always got my MacBook at a funny angle, so never can tell. So I'm going to pick up some ink in a circular motion. Then I'm going to take a bit off on my scrap. And then I'm just going to add a bit of colour around this area. Not a lot, just a bit, as I would say, a smidge. And then maybe a little down here. Now the great thing about the blending brush is that you can build up, and you can see it's quite heavy there, but that area will be covered over. And I think it looks darker on, it's looking darker on my Mac than it's actually looking in real life. So I'm going to leave it at that. And actually, let's leave the crumb cake out. And then this splat image, which is from the Merriest Moments, so the one I was talking about just now, this one here, what I have been using is my Stampin' Right marker pens just to create some splats. But because we have this lovely kind of, it's a lovely dotty, almost snow, but it's got crosses in it as well. I think I'm going to use this and see, hope that it turns out okay. So I'm just going to randomly, could have stamped off, but pop a couple like that. And then I'm going to run it through. Put those there. And now I'm just going to run that through my bark embossing folder, which I adore. When I say that, I have a vision of you all chuckling away at me, because I genuinely really do love a lot of our products, and that's a genuine love. I honestly wouldn't talk so much about something if I didn't love it or enjoy it. I thought that might have taken away a bit from that, but it hasn't, so that's fine. Next, I'm going to do a bit of stamping with the deer. So I'm going to be using this plain one here. Now, the images on the front cover are slightly smaller. They're only shown at 90%, so they are slightly larger when you open it up. Such a big set of stamps as well. £20 on its own if you go for the stamp set, but such a lot of stamps in there, and I've been playing with these tree images, but I just feel they're very, very Christmassy, so I didn't want to use those today. Move my chair out of the way. Don't know where my little man is. Oh, he's right under in the middle of the desk. It's funny, isn't it? He's got a little bed over on the corner, and he rarely goes and lies on it. Sometimes he does. It's a bit like children. They like to lie under, play under things, don't they? And okay, so the other couple of new products that I'm going to be using, let's just pop that deer over there, is the new craft paper. And it is quite thin. I love this. I've got another pack on its way because I'm starting to get a bit edgy that I haven't got very much left. It's quite thin, and when it comes it's a bit curly, but once you pop it down it kind of flattens out really easily. But I just adore this. We used to have this available in sheets of 12 by 12, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago maybe, could even be longer than that, but I absolutely love this. And stamping with Whisper White craft ink on here is stunning. So this is £5.50 and you get 20 sheets, I think. Yeah, 20 sheets in there. So I'm going to be using some of that, and then also some of the Bedazzling paper, which is a free Celebration item. I showed you this on Tuesday, and this is one of those items that is available while supplies last only. So there are a few items in the Celebration brochure that could well sell out pretty fast. I need to double check what they are. I want to say the Penguin Place Designer Series paper, and let's have a look. Can't remember what this one's called, Peaceful Prints, but I will double check on that because my head has forgotten it. My brain is not good at absorbing things, guys. I just blame it on age and hormones. I blame everything on age and hormones at the minute. It's just like, it's that M word. Something's happening with me, and it's got something to do with that thing beginning with M. Right, so this lovely deer, I'm going to ink it up in crumb cake. Just going to like encourage my paper the other way a bit so it's a little flatter, and just ink this one up. Now this one has to be fussy cut, sadly, but that is fine. Now in the set you've got this little stamp here that looks like pebbles on the ground, which it could be, but it's actually, I think it's meant to be to put the speckles on your deer. So that's what I've been doing with it. Let's see if I can line this up without having my head or hair in the camera. And then I did try, I can't see where the line is. That's okay. So you just get this kind of finish, and then I did see somewhere somebody used the chalk white marker to fill in the little dots with white, and it did look pretty. I'm going to grab mine because I did try it, but my pen was running a bit low. Let's grab a scrap. I've had this such a long time and I haven't used it. See, I could put some little dots on. Let's put some on and just see what they look like. And I guess you could actually just use this stamp and kind of heat emboss with white powder. without kind of doing an infill. So I need to get myself another one of these. I've had it way too long. It's still working, but I think if I was to start colouring in with it, it would probably run out. It's very old. Then let's just trim around here. I don't want to waste any of this cardstock. Well, it's paper, but I'm calling it card. And then what we need, so I will cut him out in a moment. How sweet are these little images? They are so cute. I think, did we say a baby deer is called a fawn? So they just stamp beautifully as well. Let's put that one there. Such fine line stamps, and you have to be careful when you're stamping with fine line images like this, because if you press really hard, let's do a really bad example of one. So if you press really, really hard, can you see what happens? So when you've got a fine, which you may think that looks good, but for me, the line is too thick, and I prefer the fine line. So always be gentle on the hand when you're using a fine line stamp, and that comes down to greetings as well. So we've got those two there, and then while we're talking of greetings, we are going to have, let's move the crumb cake. I'm going to bring in my soft suede. I love soft suede for Christmassy projects as well. And then I thought, I love this style here. I love all of the greetings in here. This one, wishing you a wonderful year and friendships dear. Guys, it's such a pretty set. It's lovely. But I thought we'd use the Let's Celebrate, because that kind of, it ticks all the boxes, and it doesn't necessarily shout Christmas. It could just be celebrating someone's birthday, or anything, an anniversary. So I'm going to snip. I think I could have done with a bit of a skinnier strip. See if I've got one that's, yeah. Let's do it on this skinnier one. I've got a little bow in my cardstock. I'm being fussy, aren't I? You're used to me now, guys, aren't you? You're used to the fuss and the faff. I think my shake might have gone, my wobble. We won't know until we start cutting. And let's just snip that right off. And guys, can you see that under my nail? That is not dirt, because I am really particular about clean nails. That was a piece of paper that went up my nail. Ouch, didn't it hurt? If you've done that, you know how painful it is for something that's so easily done. It was really painful. Okay, next thing I need to do is pull in from the Merriest Moments. I'm going to be using this such a lot just for the foliage on here. But today I wanted this lovely, I'm calling it the fiddle leaf. This one here. If it's having a scratch now. And I'm going to use the soft succulent. I can see a bit of, when I was here at the studio on Thursday night, I was playing with with these trees images, and I didn't realise, but when I stamped it into my ink pad, there was a bit of paper actually on my ink pad, and it stuck to my stamp, but then it didn't stamp down onto the, I will show you it on Tuesday, but it didn't stamp down onto the tree properly, and it left a circle in the middle of the tree. It was quite funny. Morning, Ruth. How are you? How are you doing? You will have seen this card because I gave a sneak peek of it. So I understand if you've got other things you need to do with your Saturday morning and you need to run away. Now, something that I did on Tuesday as well. I re-inked my soft succulent and it was so juicy that when I was stamping this image, it wasn't giving a really crisp definition of the lines in these leaves. So what I did, which I've seen people do in the past, but Belle reminded me that she had a little spoon and she moved, so I don't know if you can see from my ink, but I just used the edge of my block like this and I pushed ink up to the top end like that. And then this part here is slightly drier. Let's just get rid of that before I pick it up and get it everywhere. It just means there's like a drier patch, which works really well for when you want to stamp like lined images like this. Morning, Katie. How are you, my lovely? What are you up to today? Are you finding a bit of time to craft? I think we're going to be having some, dare I say, wet stuff coming in later. So we've got so much to do around here, and I did contemplate about going live, but it's catalogue launch week and I needed to share some extra projects with you. So, right, so I've stamped 2 of those. I need to die cut those out and then fussy cut these ones. Yes, so next weekend we are hosting a baby sprinkle for Coles, and there's lots of work to do in the garden. So this is the Merriest Frames dies, and I want this one here, and I also want, while I think about it, we'll do that one after, I'm going to use these 3 flowers here, which are supposed to be poinsettia, but they just look like flowers to me when they're punched out, die cut out. So let's lay those on. Tape this one down. We're on some new washi tape that I was at the end of a roll of this one. So it's an old Stampin' Up one. And then my top plate, which is hiding, and I'm going to turn it down. Can you see it's just slightly starting to curve, so I'm going to turn it that way, hoping that it will flatten a little. So let's just run those through. You're going to dedicate the day to crafting, Katie. Well, what better way to spend your day? Sounds like fun. Oops, that one didn't come out. You're playing with the stitched rectangles. I don't have that set. Probably a very handy set to have as well. Right, let's just do this one as well, and then that's our die cutting done. I've pre-cut lots of things ready for my next card because I didn't want to be on here all morning. I've got lots to do. I've got lots of kits to cut for classes next week. And classes going out in the post as well. So I've got an in-person class Thursday morning and Thursday evening. I've got space left at each of those if anybody wants to join me to make 6 cards. Obviously, some of you are way too far away, but there's always the postal option. Okay, let's do a bit of cutting. See how... Are you in shot? Ruth, you're trying to craft, but one of the cats is walking across the table. Oh, our pets. We do love them, don't we? I do see sometimes when I put YouTube on for company in the day, because it's quite a long day when you're here all day on your own from 7 till, it's been like 7 and 8 just lately with Jason working longer. So I quite often have either a podcast or YouTube on to keep me company, and sometimes I see cats going across the screen. I shouldn't say that word actually. because he knows what that is. I think the shakes have calmed down a bit. We're okay. So I'm just fussy cutting out. I am not colouring these in. I'm just leaving them plain and simple. Of course, you could colour them with your blends if you've got them, or watercolour pencils, whatever colouring medium you have. But I just wanted to keep everything sort of quite natural looking. Just trim around his little bobtail. And then this one's I find slightly trickier to cut because it's on a dark background and my eyes don't focus that well. It kind of blends into one. So, I mean, I've got good lighting here in the studio, but obviously for filming I've got the extra light on as well. You've got the Clever Cat stamp, so you'll be playing with that. That's fun. I don't have that set either. I have lots of sets, but we have such a huge selection in the catalogue, don't we? We're very lucky. Stampin' Up give us a good offering to kind of suit everyone's taste as well. So, just trimming around. I always kind of focus on doing the legs first while I've got a bit of cardstock to hold on to. I think you learn when you're fussy cutting, you kind of learn when you cut something and it's tricky, you learn of a better way to cut it. So if I've got any intricate parts or fiddly bits, I kind of focus on those first. You've got the sheep, Katie. They are fab, aren't they? Yeah, there is a lot of inspiration around with those at the moment. So not the best of cutting, but not too bad. Not too bad. I think we can start putting together. Okay, let's put these pieces over here. So we've got our base and we've got this layer. I'm not quite sure whether this is going to look better than my original or whether I should have just kept it. And I've realised I've only got edge pieces of dimensionals. Bear with me. Just grab another pack. Thought I had another new sheet. I get through these pretty quickly. You know me, guys. I like a lot of dimension. But the edge, as I always say, never throw the edge away. You get a lot of use out of those. Okay, let's pop this layer down. My Tombow is still going as well. Hasn't quite run out yet. But we're getting there. We're just going to pop this straight down onto the base. Now remember, with an embossing folder like this, you have to allow for a bit of shrinkage, and I can see that I should have maybe trimmed a little from this edge. But what I think I might do is just take a slither off of both of those ends, because it doesn't matter if my card is a little bit shorter than the average, just so it makes my border. So bear in mind, with the 3D embossing folders, they're so textured that they will shrink. They will shrink in your paper or cardstock, whatever you're running through. Right, next I'm going to take my tailor-made tag and just pop that one down over on the right side here. My grid paper is crooky, which means I have to craft crooky. Okay, so that's just gone down Nothing too tricky yet. And then this strip of DSP, which I should have really cut the other way because the pattern is kind of going up that way, but I'm not worried about that because it's just going down on here. Let's just trim a length just to go over the bottom of this tag like that, and we'll pop that one down. I do prefer the other side, but I wanted the Sahara Sand, which is obviously a different shade to Crumb Cake, but it's another neutral colour to me, so they kind of blend. Let's bring that down a little bit and get it straight. Okay, so you can just see we've got our splats that we did before we embossed, and if you had embossed this layer first and then gone in with your blending brush, you would have had such a different look, because the brush would have picked up on the raised surfaces more than the other pieces of the cardstock that are lower down. So that would be quite an interesting take on how different it would look. So next we're going to pop on our deer and our little bunny. I'm just going to curl this one a little, just so it's not so flat looking. And pop, it's always tricky getting the first ones out of here. Pop a couple on the large deer and lay him, he's like standing on this piece that's kind of grounding everything. And then we'll pop this one straight down on flat. As I've said, you could add colour to this if you wanted to, but I wanted it to look kind of very neutral. I will pop my little bunny on a dimensional and just sit him there like that, which is quite sweet. Such a cute set. Then I cut a strip of the craft, and we'll probably have it, let's cut it to that length. It might be a little long. And I want to add this greeting onto it. So let's just pop a teeny bit of Tombow along the top and layer those two together. Might trim a little bit off the edge of this one. Let's have it straight. Let's pick it up and move it about. I think that's straight. My eyes don't really want to focus very well today. That will do. And then just take a little bit off of there. And then these two bits of foliage that I stamped in the soft succulent. Actually, no, I'm going to turn these up the other way. Turn them right up. And give them a bit of a crease. Like that. And sort of a bit of a pinch on the end. And I'm going to pop these up here at the top. And just kind of guesstimate. So a bit of Tombow on that kind of crease part. Pop them like that, and then my greeting is going to sit in the middle. Let's make sure you're stuck first. I'll pop a couple of dimensionals under here. And then thinking of maybe doing a class with this in September, because I've got August classes sorted. We've got the Merriest Moments and the Penguin Place. Got 2 classes going with that, which both are in person, so at the studio, and in the post as well. My phone is on a slope. Let's just straighten it up. It's mounted in centrally in my mount, but it kind of like gradually slopes. Oh, sorry, got my ceiling. I really wanted to zoom. Oh, now I've done it. There we go. Just wanted to zoom in a bit further. It does make me laugh when it does that. The ceiling view is not good. So to finish, just to kind of, I mean, I quite like it like that, and I think I love what I've done differently, but I thought I would just add some flowers to make it, where's my take your pick tool? Just to give it, I don't know, something more to ground it at the base, as if they're kind of sat in a field or in a meadow. The imagination. Let's put glue on the back of here. And they've got flowers around them. That was my thinking. And something just to kind of ground everything. A little bit of Tombow. Let's share that bit. I think I used a smaller flower as well. Let's put you there and you there. And then to finish, I've used the champagne rhinestones, because I just think they go lovely with the petal pink. And we'll have, I want medium, I think. I don't think I want large on here. I don't want it too blingy. Oh, I totally moved that. Pop one down there. Got a bit of Tombow on there then. Let's pull out those. And just pop a couple on here. Add a bit of glitz, but not to make it kind of sparkly, Christmassy. And then to finish, finally, I thought some of our linen thread, you know I love this, it's such a natural fibre. Just going to tie a little bow. Pinch in the middle and pull the ends. And then pull both loops. Just cut those level. Oop. And I thought we could pop that one at the top. The other thing I had actually had just the reinforcer, but I don't know if it needs that. Don't want to draw too much attention to the tag. I think that would be too much. One or the other, I think. I think maybe both might be too much. Let's just go with the original plan. Roll a glue dot, pop it down there, and then add on our bow. And there we're done. So I don't think that screams Christmas. I think this would make a really cute welcome baby card. And I'm glad that I added in, let's move the stamps, ink pads and inked stamps, and bring in my original, which was just, it just had the plain white background, and I didn't use the chalk marker on the Dia. I think I like the one on the right. I think I like that it just kind of softens it a little. What do we think? I like them both, but I think I prefer this one. So there we go, one non-festive card. As I've said, this would, I'd give this as a birthday, I'd give it as a thanks, lots of different occasions. What do you guys think? Doesn't scream Christmas, does it? Let's find, oh, I've just put my head up and seen there's a big cloud coming. It is forecast, isn't it? Is that on there? One more card for you today. How are we doing for time? We are struggling. The plan of being on here for just an hour is dwindling away, but I have done lots of bits in advance. So, another card base, basic white. I know a lot of people like to use a thick basic white for card bases. It is a better option, but I generally use our standard basic white. Must have some bits on my grid, sorry. So standard card front, and I've pre-embossed with the bark embossing folder this layer. It's lovely, isn't it? I think that's the front. I never really know, and I don't think it really matters which side you use. I've also pulled in from the In Colour paper pack some soft succulent DSP. Obviously in the, is it Tidings of Christmas pack, we've got one that is, we've got two that are soft succulent, no, just one, that one. But I just thought it was a little too Christmassy, and I didn't want to use the stripes because they were just a bit hard for my project, a bit hard on the eye. So I pulled out a piece of soft succulent. Highly recommend you getting the collection packs of our colours, so the colour collections, because they're 6x6, and you've just got, you know, sheets of all of the colours in that family, which are just so handy to have. Right, the other thing I've got is another piece of the craft paper and a layer of basic white to go over the top, and I need to just check that I've got an even border around here. I'm just going to take a smidge off of here, and the reason being that this measures 3 inches, and the cardstock comes in 6x6 inches, and I always find when you cut a piece, if you want to go right down the middle, one piece always ends up a smidge shorter than the other. So when you think you've got 3 inches, you've actually got just less. So I'm going to leave that layer like that. It's a little bit longer on the bottom, but I will leave it like that. The only other stamp I want to pull out on this one is this piece of grounding image. That's what it is really. It's to create a ground, to create a line of snow or earth, whatever. I've also realised I did use my Evening Evergreen with that one, so let's just pull that one in as well. I've done some stamping ready, so what I'm going to do first of all is pull back in this piece, open up my Evening Evergreen carefully, because this is the dangerous colour that I always get covered in. I know it's not just me, I know that it happens to the best of us. And I'm going to take this like ground stamp. Oh, this is a bit of a grubby block as well. Hasn't been cleaned properly by me. And I'm going to pop this down at the bottom. Hello, little man. He's wagging his tail at me, bless him. Oh, look. See, look. I'm going to hide that, don't worry. Where is it? There, look. I'm dangerous with this colour. Dangerous. I'm leaving it open so that I don't have to touch it and get ink anywhere else. Of course, I could just turn it over and go on the other side, but I think I might be able to cover that up. I'm hoping. Let's have a look. I think it's right in the line of fire, so to speak. I'm going to mount these two together. Probably just got to do a greeting. That's the only bit of stamping that I need to redo on here. Just layer these two up. So Ruth, you've seen this one as well. But I've got more things to share on Tuesday using this set. So just layer those up. I am going to trim a little smidge off of that bottom. It's just too long. Oh, the door's just blown. That means there could be a storm coming. Katie, have you got rain, my lovely? It looks like the wind is coming this way, so if you've got rain, then it could be heading here. So what I'm going to do next is pop some dimensionals behind here. Now, larger dimensionals would be better for this job because you would probably need less of them, but I'm not going to overflow it. I just want to create a level platform. Oops. So is anybody liking this set? You've still got blue sky. Oh, maybe, I fear, honey, it could be coming your way then. Oh. Right, I'm jumping ahead of the game. I need to put this layer down on first. So let's just pop that one on the bottom. We were talking about on Thursday when I had ladies here, we were talking about the weather apps on our phone that they're not very accurate. So I always just, I mean, I've always got an umbrella in the car. Don't go anywhere without an umbrella, do we, us Brits? Right, now we can pop this layer on. In fact, I'm not going to. Because I've got layers on there, let's just stick this down onto our base. Otherwise, I'm pressing down on my dimensionals that I've just put on there. So this is just going straight down on. Again, I might just take a smidge off of the top and the bottom, just to allow for that bit of shrinkage. Just so it's more even. It's still a bit out, but it will be fine. And then I'm going to pop on, slightly curved, pop on this one, centrally if I can, straight. It's a bit higher up, it's closer to the top, but that is fine. And then from the lovely Bedazzling paper, I've just cut a real skinny strip. And I want to pop this one down here at the bottom. So let's take it to about there. Still got enough of a piece left there to use on something else. Just clean the end of my glue. And then I'm just going to run a bit down at the bottom. Like that. And pop that one on there. Now this paper or DSP, what are they calling it? It's a speciality paper. It's really thick, really strong and sturdy and really thick. And it has quite a smooth surface on the back. So when you add Tombow to it, it's kind of slidey, it moves around quite a bit, so just have to make sure it sticks. Okay, so we've just got that down at the bottom. Next, got some little pieces in my pot ready. So I've already stamped a deer or a fawn, that large deer, and then some foliage. So let's add these in. I might just add, oop, pulled the back off of that one already. And one on the back of the bunny. Oh, there's the back that just came off. Just pull that off. If it will come. Sometimes they stick when they're the wrong way round. We don't want to waste that dimensional if we can help it. And then these two, just going to go down here at the bottom. That one is kind of sitting on the ground and the bunny's just kind of watching in. Down there, hanging over the edge. And the deer, I think I'll just add a bit of the chalk. I didn't place this very well when I stamped it. Quite like the idea of using this. We're going to pop him down flat. I'm not going to add any dimensionals. So where do I want glue? Because he's going to hang off the edge like this. So just a bit of Tombow over this side. And then we'll pop him on the ground. Like that. Kind of feel he's like floating in the air a bit. Just gently. That's better. Bring him down a bit. They're so cute. So cute. Right, now to hide this. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 die cut images from the Merriest Moments. And I could use my bone folder like I normally do, but I just want to manipulate these just so they're a little curved. Yeah, Katie, I love dry embossing as well. It really does just add a wow, doesn't it? Even though, yeah, you're right, it's subtle. Because I'm using white on white, it just gives you just a nice background that kind of isn't intrusive or, you know, taking away from your main focal parts. But it's like that something, isn't it? Okay, so my idea with these was to create like a little wreath. And after I did it, I was a bit nervous that actually wreaths are kind of Christmassy. But we do get spring wreaths and things like that, don't we? So you're getting the idea. I need to start sticking. Once I stick, it will look better. So just a bit of Tombow in the middle. And they kind of go together quite well, she says. Let's tuck that under. Didn't do that on my original. I'm not putting loads of Tombow on in case I need to manoeuvre them a bit, because I can then either pull them up or add extra glue just once I've got them in place. I think that's okay. give it a press and then it's down. Then I've got another strip of, and this is where we're going to hide that splodge. It couldn't have happened in a better place, really, could it? And then we want a greeting again. I've got a little bit of that scrap left. I'm going to use the Let's Celebrate again because, as I've said, it's a good all-rounder, and I'm inking this one in Soft Succulent. Soft Suede even. All the S's, Soft Suede. That was crooked. Will I get away with it? See if we got another strip. I can use that one and fussy cut it. Right, again, Soft Suede. Because my piece of paper underneath isn't straight. And this time I think we'll just give a little edge. And I wanted to just add something else, so I'm going to pull in these three again. And just cut those out. I do love though, Katie, with a lot of the embossing folders, that you can use both sides of the embossed layer. They look quite different sometimes. Sometimes they look almost identical. You can't tell the difference. And other times, when you turn them over, the reverse, sometimes I prefer the reverse. Oh, this keeps falling out. I think it's because I use my Take Your Pick tool all the time. It's like, it's the tool that you use as much as you use adhesive. If you haven't got one, guys, I highly recommend it. It is such a great gadget to have. Right, I'm going to do the same as I did before. So teeny weeny bit of Tombow on here. Maybe not there though, it's a bit close to the edge. Oh, dropped it. Just wipe my hand. Get rid of that bit of glue. And there's a bit of glue on the end there, but my adhesive remover will sort that for me in a moment. Make sure you're stuck. And we want it to be long enough to overhang the smudge, but not too long that it's overhanging the edge of the panel. So I think about there, and I know I've already got one layer of dimensionals. Hello, Cherie. How are you, my lovely? How are you doing? I know I didn't advertise. Normally I would advertise that I'm coming live, but to be honest, I didn't know what the morning was going to hold. I knew Jason was working, but I didn't know what time he was going. And I had already got a couple of things organised to go live this morning. Oops, I can feel it's not sticking. Didn't take the back off. So it's kind of like me hopping on, hoping that someone was going to be here to join. So I'm just going to lay that down. I've got to hide that smudge, which I think we are doing. Just rub off that bit of glue where I dropped it. And then my little flowers. You're doing good, that's great. Looking forward to seeing you soon for a little gathering here, which will be good. We were having this big discussion on Thursday as well about, we're kind of all scared to go out and mingle, aren't we? Because we're kind of a little bit embarrassed because we feel it's the wrong thing to do. But in the next breath, we need to mingle a bit. We need to bring ourselves back into, you know, the social society. So it is kind of tricky to know what's to do for the best. But I think, you know, as long as we do things safely and we're careful, then we should be fine. Oh, I know what I've done as well. I've cut all the wrong size flowers. I'm just going to have to cut one more. Let's put one there. No, I'm going to put you there. You there. I've cut the large one, but I think it's too large. I want another smaller one. Where's my scrap? Sorry, I was supposed to cut them all the same size because I think the large one's just a bit large for that size of wreath. Just cut another one. Mingling in a small group is a good first step. Yes, Cherie, I totally agree. It is a good step. We have to start somewhere, don't we? You know, and we're not breaking the rules because we don't like to break the rules, do we? You need to come in a bit. And I'm going to leave it at that. I am not going to add any bling. I did consider putting, because I didn't want it to look Christmassy at all. I want it to be just a general card, and I felt by adding bling, the only thing I probably would put on, let's put some on because then we can compare with my original. Let's see what we've got. I think probably just a pearl. I want to keep it neutral. I don't want gold because I feel that will just make it feel a bit Christmassy, although white is kind of snow. Katie, you've started your ukulele club. Oh, that's exciting. You've got plenty of room to spread out, yeah. And that's the important thing, isn't it? It's, you know, windows open. Most people that I've spoken to have been kind of double jabbed as well, which is good. Let's just put a couple on here and see what it looks like. It's probably better to pick these up with that end. Much easier. See, I told you this is the gadget to add to your list if you haven't got it. Let's have a look. I think that's really sweet and really pretty. Lots of different occasions. Like young person, I would give that to. I would give that if it was a baby's first birthday, maybe put a number 1 on it. I just think it's cute. Let's bring in my original without the white dots and the white centres on the flowers. You know, I just feel because we've got a bit of like, even though the bedazzling, everything's fallen over. It's not gold, it's not silver, it's almost champagne-y, really. It's not rose gold, but it is kind of like champagne-y, so good colour. So there we go. Let's bring in the other one that I did. What have I done with it? Let's put that one over there. And bring in this one that I did. And then that was my original. Let's make a bit of room. And then I think it's coffee time. Coffee and a snack in my world. I always mid-morning snack. That's bad, isn't it? Just a little bit of dry cereal with a coffee is just, it's my thing. It's a bad habit, but it keeps me going. Maybe my sugar levels, you know, I do drop because if I don't have it, I do get the shakes. So I was really pleased with how these came out. So using this really Christmassy stamp set, Piece for Dia, I'm excited to share my projects with you on Tuesday, but absolutely love that you can do non-Christmassy things with it. So just running back to information about joining my team, I have got a challenge to find 8 new people between now and the end of celebration. So that's until the end of September. I'm looking for 8 of you lovelies to join my team. I had 8 join on the last celebration, so I want to match what I did then, so it would be really great. And there are just so many lovely extra free products to add to your kit. So joining with me is really easy. Go to my website, click on, so that's kerrytims.co.uk, click on buy the starter kit, and the information is there. There's a link to join up with me directly. So you literally go, click the link. My name will be at the top so that you know you're joining with me. And you can add the items into your basket. There will be an option to add on your free item as well, your free bundle. And then you'll be part of the team. And it doesn't mean that you have to come on here and do Facebook Lives like I'm doing. Of course, you have to reach sales targets every quarter to stay active as a demonstrator. But there's no pressure. There's no pressure from anyone to do that, and especially not me. I mean, I love people to join and stay because we're such a great family to be a part of, and we have so much fun, and we're so kind and caring to each other as well. So that's the lovely thing about Stampin' Up. It brings lovely people together. It really does. So the other thing I just want to talk about quickly, because this offer is running out on Tuesday. This is my offer. If you purchase the Merriest Moments bundle, so that's the stamps, the dies, and the hybrid embossing folder, which I think is about £50, you will get 3 card kits in the post, free of charge, along with a link to join me. Excuse me, the frog is back. To join me to stamp in the studio. No, stamp live with me on a Zoom. I'll be in my studio, you will be on a Zoom, and you will have kits in the post to create these 3 cards. Obviously, you'll need the inks, but you could use different colours if you haven't got the ones I'm using. So I'm excited about that. The Zoom will be on, I think it's Monday the 30th of August in the evening at 7 p.m. So that will be fun. So I'm hoping, I know some of you have added it to your basket already. I'm hoping some more will, because it will just be a fun evening. And it's totally free. Obviously, I know some of you will be ordering that bundle anyway, so it's like an extra bonus. So, okay, Cherie, I'm going to be heading off now. Thanks for stopping in. You can catch up the whole of the replay anyway, and it'll be going over to YouTube later on. So thank you so much for everyone who's joined me this morning. I hope I've given you a little insight into the Peaceful Deer. Remember, it's a bundle with this beautiful punch, which I will be using on my live on Tuesday. So I don't see me coming back before Tuesday, maybe Monday evening. Jay's got a busy week working on his car, so maybe I might be around Monday evening. Got a feeling I've got something else on there, another live, so we will see. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Take care if you're out and about. Don't forget your umbrella, although it's a bit windy for the umbrella, isn't it, today? It's rather breezy. So take care and thank you so much, and I'll speak with you all very soon. So bye for now.